This is going to be a top 5 where I really drop some knowledge on you, because in this top 5 I've got a list of 5. I got 5 honorable mentions, and I'll be shocked if any of you out there have heard of 2 of these TV shows. And that's nothing against you. It's just these shows were canceled either after 1 episode, maybe 2 episodes, and some of them never even aired at all. So I guess the list is fastest canceled TV shows, but I guess it could also be terrible TV shows that were canceled fast. I had to do a lot of research. I did not watch any episodes of any of this, but I did get as much info as I could about each one. So with the honorable mentions, I'm going to give you the name of the show, when it came out, maybe a sentence about it, and you're more than welcome to go and look them up and find what you can about them, but I'm not going to spend that much time on the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions for super fast canceled TV shows include Dot Comedy from 2000, which was about the explosion of the internet. The Will from 2005, which was a reality show about people fighting to get in a family member's will. Welcome to the Neighborhood from 2005, which was an unaired reality show. Co-ed Fever from 1979, which was basically a TV show based on the movie Animal House. And South of Sunset from 1993, which was a detective show starring Glenn Frey from the band The Eagles. So those are the honorable mentions. Have you heard of any of those? Well, let's get into the actual top 5. And remember, these aren't in any particular order. Even though it says fastest canceled, 1 to 5 does not go in order. Number 1 is Snip, which was a TV show, 1976. It never aired any episodes, but it was supposed to be about a hairstylist played by David Brenner who worked at the same Cape Cod salon as his ex-wife. I thought it was interesting that the show would have been based on Cape Cod, but the reason it never aired was because the owner of the salon was to be gay. And in 1979, obviously rampant homophobia, they just didn't want to deal with the backlash of having a gay character on TV. Number 2 is a show called Heil, Honey, I'm Home. This was a British show. It had 1 episode aired in 1990, and it's supposed to be basically a found footage TV show of what if Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun lived next to a Jewish couple in Berlin in 1938. It's supposed to be a comedy, so you can see why that might not make the air. They actually had filmed 8 episodes of the show and aired the first one, and the backlash was so bad they just shelved the whole rest of the series. If you are curious, though, about this show and what it's like, you can go and find it on YouTube. They have the only aired episode. Number 3 is a show called Lawless from 1997. It was canceled after 1 episode aired on Fox. This was supposed to be a more sophisticated take on the A-Team, and it starred former NFL linebacker Brian Bosworth. He was going to be a former special ops agent turned PI, and it was on a Saturday night, and they said the numbers were so low, even for Saturday night, that they just canceled it and said forget it. But hey, if you've got a hankering for some Brian Bosworth acting, you can always go watch his 1991 movie Stone Cold. Or just go watch the highlight of Bo Jackson plowing him over to get into the end zone from when he played in the NFL. That's more laughs than any movie he's been in. Number 4 is a TV show called The Dictator. Of all the ones that I saw, all 10, this would be the one I would have been most interested in. It was an unaired sitcom from 1988 that starred Christopher Lloyd as a dictator from a small Caribbean island who gets deposed to Queens, New York. And there he runs a laundromat, and that's kind of the whole premise of the show. They filmed 2 episodes before a Writers Guild strike, and they didn't want to premiere the series without more than 2 shows, so they just scrapped the whole thing. I'm still doing my research, but if I can find those unaired episodes somewhere, I'll share a link on social media, because I want to watch it too. And finally, number 5 on this list of top 5 fastest canceled terrible TV shows is Garbage Pail Kids. Yup, they had a terrible movie, so they said, why not have a terrible TV show too? This was an animated series from 1987, and so it actually aired elsewhere, but it did not air any episodes in the United States. There were a total of 13 episodes, and I'm sure you can find at least one of them on YouTube. But because of the controversial nature of Garbage Pail Kids, if you've seen the cards or if you grew up in that time, you know it's not exactly family-friendly animation. It was decided to just not air it in the US. But that wraps up the top 5. Had you ever heard of any of these TV shows? I had only heard of Garbage Pail Kids just based on the movie and the actual trading cards. But as far as the TV shows, none. 0. But let me know, are there any I missed? Any other quickly canceled TV shows that were just awful that I did not include on this list? Because there were more. It's just I try to keep the top 5 and a few honorable mentions. And I'll be back next week with another brand new top 5 that'll be just as random. And maybe it'll drop some knowledge on you like this and get you to watch terrible TV.